Probably you remember the song and the movie. Actually, it was my inspiration. Because when I was young, I wanted PowerPoint to let die. Probably you know the term the death by PowerPoint. So when I was young and broke, I tried different things. But now, when I'm not so young, I see that PowerPoint can do a lot of things. And let's see what PowerPoint can do. So first thing, what we can do with PowerPoint is to create the hidden object games. So this is my project. I will remove some screens here. So we can use animations and triggers. Let's see how it works. As you can see, we can click the objects. This object disappears. The text disappears as well. But that's it. Nothing else happens. So let's go further. Let's export this one to HTML5 format. We export it, we open it in the browser, as you can see. And as you can see, even though we exported it into HTML5, nothing happens. So what happens, we can see here. So initially, in the PowerPoint land, we create the presentation. These resources are moved to the iSpring converter, and the iSpring converter converts the PowerPoint into HTML5 files. These HTML5 files are served into browser, and browser executes it. So what happens is that everything that runs in PowerPoint is executed correctly, but PowerPoint itself doesn't save the state. So in this case, we need some magic. And let's see how magic works. So initially it is the same. Using PowerPoint, we create the presentation. We move that presentation to iSpring converter, and that converter creates HTML5 files. At this point, we need to intercept these files and inject it with some of our code. So the pirates come, they take HTML5 files, add additional ones, and HTML5s, along with some evil code, are served to a browser. Now the browser runs the file, and JavaScript installs the Sauron eye. And that evil eye, will supervise everything that runs within the browser. Let's see how it works. I will zoom out now, and let's see what additional things I did to the PowerPoint. So when I click on the object, it not only hides the object itself and the corresponding text, it also opens some text. And in this case, I have a text named as task. So for every object, I will have the corresponding task. Okay, so what we do now, We export it once again. And now it is time for the pirates to inject some code. So here is our published project. We can just put here the whole folder, or we just put here the only file we changed. Okay. We replace it. Now we can run the file. And we can enjoy our game. As you see, the score is counting, and after we find all the objects we need, it gives us the winning screen. The very similar project to the previous one which I made is Escape Room. It's the same game, it's just when you click on the object it asks you a question. So what is Linus? It is Torvalds. And so on and so on. So let's see how it was done in PowerPoint. As you can see, there are a lot of questions that are augmented by some markings. So there is a question window. There is an input keyword. That input keyword will be replaced by HTML input. There is an answer. There is the incorrect answer, and there is a text showing for which input these answers belong. In such a way, the escape game is made. Let's move further, and here we have interactive videos that can be made by PowerPoint. First, I will show how it is made in PowerPoint. Here we have two keywords. Observe. So, evil eye will not only observe HTML code, but it will also observe video. And at some specific time point, it will click this object. And these objects are related to animations. Also, we have buttons. When we click buttons, we need to go to some specific timeline. So what we do, we activate these go-to statements. Let's see this in action. Hey guys, is it? So, what is it? Probably a sprint review.
No.
So, in such a way, we can make interactive videos. And we have yet another similar project, and it is related to the chatbots. Chatbot means that someone is supervising your work when you are watching video. In this case, we have this lovely Grace, and Grace will supervise. Okay, so let's see it. I skip.
Talk about motivation. Why do we need to use software engineering methods, although we can create software without using it?
And now the Grace interrupts the video, asks if she could
Would you like me to
serve
assist you?
as assistant. So sure, why not?
Let's see a video for a minute.
And now we can watch further.
Some people like to climb mountains.
So
I
at
like
some
to build
point,
planes. In the
Grace
air.
will interrupt these videos and ask us some
Engineering
questions.
methods.
Let us stop here. I want to ask you, why there are still so many failed projects nowadays?
Let's try to answer the question.
No. The increasing system complexity is the major challenge.
Okay, so that was not
what is
the right
software
answer.
engineering?
Let's proceed.
There are many
Listening.
definitions.
And
I
if
want
we want
to
to go
outline two of
further,
them.
we can click on Grace.
What would you like to play?
Grace will propose us some selection. So we can
Now
change the
let's
topic
talk about some key
proceed watching
challenges.
the
And
movie.
the first couple of key challenges is
What's
heterogeneity
next?
and
Where is VR? Is it possible to make a virtual reality application with PowerPoint? Absolutely. So let's see it. Okay, so we opened the panoramic image, and if we could have virtual reality glasses, and if that file would be served in a server, you could use it with virtual reality. As for now, we just can look around. And how it is made? It is made pretty simply. What we have here is a picture, the equirectangular picture. You actually should take it yourself. No PowerPoint will do it for you. We put it onto the PowerPoint screen, and what we additionally do, we add the text type :VR, and that's it. The engine will convert it to virtual reality. So I wanted to conclude my presentation. I didn't show all the things that PowerPoint can do, but it can do a lot. For example, it can export the material to various e-learning object standards, like XAPI, CMI5, AACC, and SCORM. Because of that, we can use the learning materials in a lot of learning management systems. Now that PowerPoint generates HTML5, we can convert the resource into native iOS, Android, Android TV, Windows, macOS, Linux, and many other platforms. And finally, with PowerPoints, we can do what we actually couldn't do before. We can create hidden object games, we can create escape rooms, we can create interactive videos, we can create chatbots, and we can have virtual reality. So, with the creative hands and a bit of magic, a lot of things could be done. Especially when there are tons of PowerPoint resources that we can convert into modern learning objects. Please contact me if you have some questions. Thank you and have a nice conference.